What is up, everybody? It's your boy Dudy, back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video. After a weird day, as Phil is going to try to explain exactly what that means. And the spoiler alert, it means low support. Yes, low support, that's right. Mainly around the Resident Evil playthrough. Apparently, Resident Evil Requiem did not save the business. He's crashing out. He spent the day crashing out over low viewership, low engagement, and of course, low support, because low support is really the only thing that matters to Phil. Although, of course, he tries to convince you that, you know, it's more than just that, when we all know it's all about the money. Yesterday's first stream was just pathetic. He crashed out multiple times. We got a crash out about the game journalist meme, because, of course, Phil is just being terrible at Resident Evil, and he's getting the eye of Reddit, Twitter. Everyone's out there mocking his playthrough. I mean, it's like it's on the Zelda level. Remember the whole Zelda meme? It's kind of getting there because so many people love this game, and to watch DSP butcher it, it's just quite funny. It is. So let's see what he had to say. By the way, this daily rap was 13 minutes long. Don't worry, I cut it up a bit and I sped it up and I got it down to 8.5 minutes. Let's see how long I can tolerate this nonsense. I may have to rage quit this video soon. So, like always, Duty will try to keep this video under 15 minutes, but you know, sometimes Pig Roach upsets me and I go a little bit longer. And if I do, I apologize. So let's see what Pig Roach had to say about Resident Evil and, of course, low support.
Things went for an interesting turn. Yeah. And I'm a little surprised, but at the same time, it was still a great day. So let's talk all about it, all right? So today, there was two things going on. Number one, the continuation of Resident Evil Requiem as the main daytime stream as I attempted to get through this entire game this week. And a new Indies tryout night, meaning tonight, we're going to take in a ton of suggestions from viewers of new games to play. Now, it could go one of two ways. Either we get a few suggestions and actually try some of the games, or if people were just enjoying seeing me or check out these games they were suggesting, then we could just keep doing that. So let's talk about how it all went. First off, on today's DSP morning show, we talked about the interesting plots of Resident Evil and how, quite frankly, they're kind of implausible and ridiculous, but people still seem to enjoy the campiness of the games. For example, the plot of Resident Evil Requiem having a few pretty big, silly plot holes that I think everyone's just kind of said, nah, it's survival horror, it's Resident Evil, it's okay. But in addition to that, we talked about
Okay, first of all, Phil, I mean, this is a video game, right? And we're talking about reanimated corpses that are attacking you. That's the first thing. Of course, it's not going to be fucking Shakespeare or an Academy Award-winning movie or something like that. It's not The Godfather, okay? All right, that's the first thing. Second, I'm not sure what the hell you're talking about. You are the only person remotely criticizing this game. Every single person that I've actually read, watched, or just reviewed Resident Evil Requiem said it's amazing. It's one of the best games that have come out in quite some time. People are praising it that it's actually different, you know, and of course, let's just brass tacks it right here. The only reason why Phil is going to complain that it's different and it's not the same is because on the fourth stream he got low viewership, low engagement, and most of all, low support. So what he's doing here, of course, is just lining up his excuse just in case this playthrough goes south. So if today he plays it and again he gets less than $100, that just gives him ammunition to criticize his viewers for not supporting. It gives him ammunition to threaten to wage quit the game or just cut back how much he's playing, all to guilt trip people into giving him money. That's all this is. So, of course, he's lining everything up, making sure that he has a built-in excuse if this shit goes sideways. Let's just keep it real and keep it honest here, okay? This is what he's doing. He really doesn't have a fucking valid criticism, all right? And you guys know how I feel about Resident Evil style games. It's just not my thing. I don't like those slow... it's just not my thing. But I know that people love those games and they enjoy them. By every marker, everything that's out there, everyone is saying this game is fucking amazing. Now, of course, he bitched yesterday about how different it is, how weird it felt. All because of what, Phil? Because they changed up the gameplay, they changed up the pacing, they changed up how much you play with Grace versus the guy. you know, and yet it's just that's why I don't take this guy serious with his criticism, because if they kept the same formula as the previous Resident Evil games, he would bitch about that if support was low. He's always looking for an excuse just to bitch. And of course, he loves to be the contrarian, so if everyone thinks that this game is amazing, he has to be the only one with a varying opinion because, of course, he wants to make everyone think that, you know, his takes are more sophisticated. You're not sophisticated enough to understand the small nuances that would make this game amazing versus good, right? That's what he's trying to do here. And just throw all that shit out. It's all simply based on money. Because if this game was bringing him $200 a stream, this would be the game of the year. Game of the year. That's what we hear from DSP. But since one stream, the fourth stream that he's played this, it died out. People really don't care anymore. And the other thing, you moron, is that everyone that's played this game is done with it. This is an 8 to 10 hour game. Maybe a little bit longer if you want to, you know, go a little bit slower. But you want to drag this out. You're literally, 14 hours into this game? You should have beaten this game already, Phil. Your last stream should have been your last stream. But because you want to drag it out because you want more streams of this game because you think you would get, you know, $150 more, of course people are going to grow tired. Of course people are going to grow bored. People have already seen the ending, so why bother watching your gameplay if they already know exactly what's going to happen? And at that, they've seen other playthroughs that are way better than yours. And he's going to use the excuse and bitch later on, oh, these people are just rushing. No, they're not. No one's rushing through the game. I mean, you might have some people that are speedrunning it just because they want to play the insane mode. Whatever. At least they're playing it multiple times. Unlike you, you're going to play this once and just throw it in the trash. That's exactly what you're going to do. And God forbid if they have DLC for this game and support dries up, you're not going to play the DLC because you're going to sit there and bitch and moan and say, oh, you know, I don't think there's any interest. I don't think there's any interest in the game. Right, Phil. Okay. That's fucking nonsense. Fucking thing. All right, let's keep going. All right. I'm sorry. I'm already 7 minutes in, and I'm struggling here to keep it under 15 minutes. My apologies.
A whole bunch of stuff, including ideas for the next DSP Tries It, because this week's episode is actually doing superb. Over 1,300 views in 24 hours. That's way more than DSP Tries It usually gets. So I'm happy that the show is doing well for whatever reason.
Okay, Phil, real quick, brother. I know you like to tout your successes. This ain't one of them, brother. Getting 1,000 views in a 24-hour span is not good, brother. It's not. I'm sorry, man. My worst video cracks 1,000 views in 1 hour, brother. Typically, my average views are 1,000 to 1,200 views per hour. And on a good video, it can be anywhere up to 2,000 views per hour, sometimes even more. Okay, Phil. So you trying to brag here and trying to, you know, try to flex that you got 1,000 views in 24 hours? That equates to like what? What's that? How many views is that per hour, brother? Like 30, 40? No, actually, it's what? It's close to 50 views an hour. All right, Phil. Way to go there, brother. A 229,000 sub channel is bragging about getting 50 views an hour. Okay, Phil. That's not the flex, brother. That's not the flex you should be flexing, man. And matter of fact, brother, as a detractor, it embarrasses me, okay? It embarrasses me that I actually have to talk about this. And you bragging that you got 1,000 views on a video. Okay.
So it was about an hour chill hangout session. Then we jumped into Resident Evil Requiem. Now, today, after 11 parts, primarily playing as Grace, today we finally played all day as Leon, okay? In a nutshell, Leon plays very differently than he has in any Resident Evil previous. He really does. Like, the gameplay has been changed a lot. The zombies in Resident Evil Requiem are some of the toughest they've ever created in Capcom history. It is a very action-based gameplay now where you have to parry attacks a lot. You have to try to shoot enemies until they get stunned so you can do the melee and the finishes. But at the same time, weapon use and management is very important. You know, trying to lure them into groups and kill multiple ones at the same time. Using them to kill each other. Like, for example, certain enemies will drop weapons. You can then pick up that weapon and use it to kill the next zombie instantly. It's all very important stuff that's kind of different from how Resident Evil has played before. So, I'll be honest. At first, I didn't really get it. The changes, like, weren't clicking. And I was playing pretty poorly and I died a couple times. And then after that, I was like, oh, I think I'm maybe starting to get it now. And I got the hang of it. And over the course of the day, I got better and better at it. I started doing weapon upgrades, buying new weapons, etc. And by the end of the stream, I was actually playing quite well, surviving really well, and doing pretty good. We did a lot today, okay? So in this first area of Raccoon City, there's a big street to go through and all these other areas to go in on the street. Some of them you need to do mandatorily to continue with the story. Others are actually optional areas that have like new weapons or upgrades to weapons or extra currency and interesting stuff. So as you know, when I play these games, I'm trying to do everything. So I spent a lot of time today doing all the content of the first area. Seems like people who were there were mixed about it. And here's what I mean. Some people were like, oh, this is cool. Phil's doing his usual thorough searching, reading all the lore, getting all the upgrades, etc. And other people were like, why aren't you done yet? And I was like, what do you mean? Well, don't you know that so-and-so streamer played 3 streams of 3 hours and beat the game? And I'm like, well, I'm sure you could do that if you rush through the game, you don't look for anything, you don't look for the lore, you just basically do the basics to win. But that's not what I do. When I play games, I take my time, I explore, I do all the content, so it's a complete playthrough because unlike other people, I don't do 2-3 runs, right? I'm not playing again on Insanity as soon as I beat this. We're going on the other games. So I want to do a good first run because that's my only run for now. And a lot of people just, oh, don't you know that everyone else already beat it? So what would you like me to do? When a new game comes out, would you like me to literally play it nonstop for 3 days straight, beat it, and then never touch it again and not see half the game? Is that what it is? Because I think what it is people have this brainwashed mentality of, well, this viral popular streamer did it this way. I don't give a fuck how the viral popular streamer played the game. I'm not them, and I don't care because I don't make slop. I'm making a meaningful playthrough that people can watch over time, which is also why when I play this game, I will give it valid criticism. Today, there was a few things that were quite frustrating. For example, there was a part where all of a sudden, zombies are on mortars shooting mortar shells at you. Now, I understand if you're in the open and you get hit by a mortar shell, because that's what happened at first. I didn't even realize there were mortars in the area, and they start hitting me. But once you get into cover, there's no way the zombie could know where you are at all. You're in cover. The zombies psychically know where you are. I'm not kidding. They actually know exactly where you are, so you need to keep moving constantly. If you don't, the mortar will hit you even if you're in cover, which is ridiculous. So rightfully, I called it out. I'm like, guys, all I'm trying to do is explore and get items in the area. I don't know where the mortars are coming from as of yet. The game won't let me have fun. It's making me rush ahead to find the mortar fire, kill the guys, and then backtrack, and that's kind of annoying. That's exactly...
Okay, all right, hold on a second. So your complaint is that they make it challenging for you, and you actually have to stop and think about what you're actually doing. Is that your complaint? Is your complaint really that the game is actually challenging you and not a walking sim that just lets you get from point A to point B? Is that, Phil? Is that what you're really saying here, Phil? Then what's the point of playing games without any fucking challenge? Really, Phil? What's the goddamn point? Go watch a fucking television. Go watch a television show. Or go watch a movie. Or go put Legos together. Do something that isn't so much of a challenge for you. Yes, brother, that's what video games do. Video games make you stop and think about what you're going to do in your next move. And also, you have to think and stop and think to yourself, all right, what's around the corner? Am I going to be facing a host of enemies? Do I need to prepare? Do I need to have a certain piece of armament ready? You know, like a certain gun. Those are things that you need to think about. And you know what, brother? If you die, you learn from that mistake so that on your next run, you know better. You're equipped better. You take a different strategy. You know not to just fucking run and gun like you always do. Okay, and your criticism about the zombies shooting a turret or whatever and they can see through the walls or... Come on, man. Are you really complaining about that? Is that... Are you really complaining about the laws of whatever? The laws of reality in a video game? It just sounds like you couldn't beat it. You died a few times, and that upset you because people were mocking and laughing your playthrough. That's exactly what it is, right? Bill doesn't mind that he sucks at the game. He minds that people mock and make fun of him. That's why we had the crash out about the game journalist. Let's see if he covers that piece. Let's see if he bitches about that as well.
Exactly how I had to beat the area. Basically, I rushed it after dying once. I rushed it. I found a guy with a mortar. I killed him, and then I used that mortar to kill the other mortar guys, and then I was able to explore. It's a trial and error part of the game. Listen, it's okay.
Oh, okay. All right. So you figured it out, you fucking idiot. All right. So what's the problem? Why do you need why is that an issue? To me, it sounds like it's a kind of it's a puzzle, as you like to say. What's the problem with that? Again, he wants zero challenge. He just wants to walk through a fucking game, have people throw money at him, and tell him how amazing his playthrough, how meaningful his playthroughs is. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't give a shit what he's putting out there. He doesn't give a shit. He just wants to get from point A to point B, not embarrass himself, and make sure that people throw him money. That's essentially what his business model and what his streams have become. And it's pathetic, man. And then you wonder why no one wants to watch your playthrough. Offers no insight, nothing. You sit there and you wait for your chat to give you tips and hints and handhold you. Who the fuck wants to watch someone that doesn't even know what they're doing? Good God. People ask me sometimes, why don't I do playthroughs? I've done a couple every once in a blue moon. I'll fire up a game and do a playthrough and chat with you guys. But I'm not a good gamer. I'm just not. I'm not. And I know I wouldn't be entertaining. That's why I don't do it. But I don't try to shoehorn myself into something I'm not good at. You know, I'm a decent gamer. I'm an okay gamer. But for literally someone sit there and watch and pay me, no, I'm not remotely even that good or entertaining. Just like you, Phil. I mean, you should be able to accept your limitations and roll with it, brother. But not you, man. Nope, hell no. Because you're too pig-headed and, of course, greedy.
It's not game breaking or anything, but at the same time, it is kind of frustrating because I do feel like it could have been done definitely better. But I'm going to criticize that. Fair.
The only frustrating part here is that someone mocked you and they created the game journalist meme of your shitty playthrough. And it's getting millions of views and you're just upset. That's all it is. That's why he has to criticize the developers and the pacing versus his skill.
Fairly, right? And I think I have the right to. What happened is I think most people played this game, just kept saying it's the best game ever made, rushed through it and beat it fast, and they're either doing an insanity run or they're on to something else. Meanwhile, here I am, taking my time, doing all the content, exploring every corner, doing all the lore, and giving it valid criticism, and people can't handle that. Oh, what's that? That's a valid playthrough? We can't handle that. That's not what anyone does anymore. It is what it is, okay?
Yeah, right. Okay, right, Phil. You know, the one thing that people do is they actually give you insight into the game. They actually give you strategies on how to play something. They actually research the game before they start playing it. And they're actually entertaining while they're playing. That's something you don't do. Okay, Phil? So if you want to talk about, you know, what most people do and what you don't do and versus what you do, most people are actually entertaining, which you are not. Okay? And again, Phil, the key to being a successful streamer is being entertaining, and you're not entertaining. Again, you get more hate watchers than anything else. You have LARPers that are in your chat giving you money, and of course, let's not forget Anonymous. Of course, Anonymous came out yesterday in full force in the night stream and dropped a $70 tip. We're sure you did, Phil. No name, no message, no nothing. I guess he's getting so tired of fake tipping himself that he can't even come up with a realistic message. You know, everyone caught on that all of his messages actually sound just like him. So he's no longer even doing messages when he's fake tipping himself. All right, you know what? Again, I'm sorry, I'm past 15 minutes. I'm at 18 minutes. Let me wrap it up here. He's going to talk about today, which we'll deal with that today. All right, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out, everyone.
Seems like I'm sorry, Doody.